Hello folks, and welcome to this new series about computer music and sound synthesis with Plugdata. For those of you who don't know, Plugdata is a modern version of pure data that was originally developed by Miller-Pocket in the early 90s. In recent years, a guy from Netherlands called Timothy Schoen decided to develop Plugdata based on a modern framework called Juice. And thanks to his hard work and the work of other contributors and developers, we can now program and make awesome things with this free software. There are two huge improvements if we compare Plugdata with pure data. The first one is that Plugdata can run as an audio plugin within any DAW. So you can load your patch, your project in Plugdata. And if Plugdata is running in your DAW, you have a super smooth integration of your patch within your DAW, which is a huge plus to me. Second thing is that we can now experience a solid and smooth user experience, not to mention all the external libraries that come with Plugdata. I'm talking about the ELSE library, which is developed and maintained by Alexandre Porres. This is a huge collection of objects for electronic music or audio synthesis that will save you a lot of time and headaches. Moving on, we have Cyclone, which is a collection of objects cloned from MaxMSP, which is the paid version of Plugdata, if we can say so, and was originally developed by these people. Finally, we have the Heavy compiler maintained by Wasted Audio, which is a tool that you can use to convert your Plugdata patch into a real audio plugin. I mean, those one with the .vst3 extension or LV2 audio unit. You can choose between different options. On the main window, we can now create a new patch. As you can see, we have a blank area called Canvas. And before creating an example patch, let's talk about building blocks. So the PD language has two fundamental elements that are objects and messages. An object is an instance of a class, and you can think of a class as a blueprint containing a lot of detailed instructions on how to build a specific object with all its functionalities and its behaviors. Then we have messages, and in PD they are used to communicate or to control the behavior of other objects. Messages can carry different data types like numerical values or text-based data. We can send messages to objects to change the way they are working internally. And these are the two core elements of the PD language. If you want to create an object, you simply need to double-click on an empty space and type the name of the object you want to create. The one I'm interested in is print. As you can see, the autocomplete window will pop up showing all objects containing the word print. The one I want to create is the first one. And this object is used to print values received inside its input in the console. But where is the console? Well, if you move on the right side of the PD window, we can see this sidebar containing the icon Open Console panel. And this is the console where we can print values. This is super useful to debug your code and understand basically what is going on. If you click on these three dots, you can see a bunch of settings related to the console. We can clear the console. Now all text has disappeared. We can restore the console. We can show only messages, only errors, and we can enable auto scroll. Now I'm fine with the default settings, and let's talk about messages. So to create a message, you can enter the object browser, you can select the message box, and you can drag it in the canvas. If you want to use a shortcut, it's Ctrl or Command 2. and you can create as many message boxes as you wish. Now you can double click inside the message box and type anything. Let's type sound codecs. We can now take the output pin of this message and send it to the input pin of print. But how do we trigger this simple patch? Well, right now we are in edit mode, and we can understand it because we can see all these dots in the background. If we move to the top toolbar, we can see that this icon is selected. We are in edit mode. If you want to switch to the run mode, you need to click this middle icon. As you can see, all dots in the background has disappeared, and if we click on the message now, it will trigger the print object. And if we move to the console, we can see that the print object has printed the received message, that is sound codecs. Instead of switching manually between edit mode and run mode, you can use Ctrl-click on the canvas and it will switch between the two modes instantly. There's also a third mode called the presentation mode, but it won't be covered in this very first video because it's totally useless right now. We understood that messages are data carriers within the PD environment. They're used to send and receive all kinds of data types. But what happens when I write something like this random number inside the message box? Well, what we are seeing right now is the argument, technically called atom. But what is inside the message box? It's not only the argument, we also have a selector, in this example of type float. The selector is an identifier that is checked by the target object. If this object, print in our example, can properly interpret the selector, the object will perform the corresponding action, in this example simply printing the number into the console. But what happens when we try to send the wrong message like hello to the wrong object like the sum object? Let's try to print the result. An error was raised in the console, no method for hello, meaning I don't know what to do with this message. So let's try to force this message, this word hello, to become a numerical value. This is not going to end well because we have this error saying bad arguments for message float. So if we declare the selector float, PD will assume that we want to write a numerical value. So if we provide a wrong argument, a bad argument, it will raise this error. And that's all about messages for now. If you found this video useful, please consider joining my Patreon page. That is the easiest way you can support my work on YouTube. That said, thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao, ciao!